up, my jerk face? Hope you're doing well, you beautiful, gorgeous bastards out there. It's February the 1st, 2023. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. We're doing it. Holy smokes, 11 down. No way, 1 down, 11 more to go. 1 down, 11 up. First month of the year is behind us. What's going on with you guys and gals out there? Today's going to be a special episode, just like any other episode. If you're just tuning in for the first time, buckle up, buckle down. We're going to have some fun. If you've been with me for some time, you know what it is. Get down and dirty up in this bitch. Hope you're all doing well wherever you are, whether you're in Toronto, whether you're in Canada, anywhere. Out there in the West Coast, if you're down south in the US, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Thailand, the islands. Wagwan. Wagwan, everybody, indeed. Wagwan, indeed. Boys and girls, I'm just like, today's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be a mixed bag, I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be a mixed bag. It snowed up in this bitch right here. It's really cold in Canada right now. In Toronto, we're sitting at around -10, -11, but towards the end of the week, I'm talking Friday, Saturday, we're gonna be hitting -30s with the wind chill and all that jazz. So it's exciting times. February's my, if you like the cold, if you like winter wonderlands, if you like to freeze a little nip, if you like to spit on the tip of your nip and then find somebody who's also willing to spit on the tip of their nip and then attach your nips together and then be like nip brothers and sisters out there, February's your month. Go ahead and spit on that nip. Right there. Stick it on, brother. Stick it on, sister. It's like Velcro, but from nature. And even better. Because once you go your separate ways, it's like somebody's getting a little bit more extra. What happened? Where's my nip, you'll say? It's on Jenny. Jenny's got your nip. Mike's got your nip. You know? That's Canada. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You get cold outside, intermittently piss yourself a little bit. Why don't you go ahead and do that? I don't go ahead and do that myself, but as you age, you just, maybe perhaps you start to notice your bodily functions a little bit more. I'm not intermittently pissing myself, but after a leak at the bathroom at the old WC, are there a couple extra drops that'll, come in? Oh, what is this? An extra drop here and there. And you shook it all night and day. You shook it off. It's like very similar to, I guess, ladies, the only way you'll be able to relate to this is like going to the gas station. You want to get every drop out and you, wiggle it. Try to get every drop out, man. But what are we even talking about? I don't even know. Leaky dicks? Leaky Dick Wednesday? Not really. I guess a little bit, maybe. Don't matter, man. Don't matter. Wherever you are, keep warm. Hibernate if you can. Go in. This is the time of the year. It's that, we're almost, believe it or not, spring is around the corner. February is a reminder that spring is around. February is that last few, attempts from Mother Nature coming in there. Be like, we're going to keep it breezy. We're going to keep it cool here. Yeah, all right, Mother Nature. We get it. All this talk about global warming. Oh, warm it up already. It's freezing. That's how I feel. That's what it is. That's just how I feel. During winter time, during the last stretch of winter, not gonna lie, fam. A little bit of global warming up in this bitch, wouldn't be complaining. But everybody's like, be careful about global warming. And I get it, we gotta be careful, fine. What, what if we concentrated global warming? What if global warming was, in a couple of places, we could use a little bit of global warming? Right here in the city, a little bit of global warming. Antarctica, do it, Greenland, a ton of space, a ton of land, and everybody's always talking about, why is the rent crazy? Why is housing so expensive? Is there a lack of space? Not really, but do we need more space? Can we heat it up a little bit so we can get a little bit better rent, a little bit better mortgages? I don't know, maybe if the Yukon Territory, if the Northwest Territories were melted a little bit, we could disperse out and be like, land for days, land for everybody. But you can't build on permafrost, man. That's risky business. Permafrost is, you gotta be of a certain cut of a certain kind of cloth, I guess, to be up there, up in that ecosystem. You got to be able to, you got to be willing to go igloo. You got to be willing to go penguin. You got to be willing to go, I'm a sea lion. I'm a blubbery fish. You got to go blubber, baby. You got to get with the fats. You got to get fat. And if you don't have fat, you got to cut some fat off some animal and just slab it on. Slab on fat. When it gets cold, that's how it is, man. But that's, that's just life. What are we even talking about? Is temperature? Yeah. Is it a little bit, you get outside and just like, oh God, just give me a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, please. And we know in February, this is the test. This right here is the test. After this, it's all, oh man, I can't wait till spring, baby. That's what I'm just like looking forward to spring. I got up, everything was frozen. It's like a winter wonderland, except not so much of a winter, like it's winter and there's land and there's wonder in it, but it's not like we're not like, everybody's doing things. It's not like a local, festival. So it's not festive. Festivities are over. It's behind. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you got to keep the festivities from inside and then bring it outside somehow. Share with everybody. Hope everybody's doing well, essentially. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. I hope you're fucking, as I'm talking right now, keep going. Let's go. Couple of more, give it a good effort. Keep going. You got to get her pregnant. Today's the day you got to get her pregnant. Enough of this low T shit. Enough of this birth rates are falling. Enough of this. If you're in it, just go ahead and unload right there. Boom, right there. You're pregnant. Congratulations. You're welcome. Nowhere else will you get this kind of support. Now, fellas, you've gone ahead and done the hardest part. Now it's time to let the ladies take the easy way out and give birth with the whole birthing process and what have you. But it takes two to tango is all I'm trying to say. Childbirth, man, what a process that is. Jesus. It's children are also expensive. So, that's also another reality of these days. Children are expensive, but I don't know if I guess they used to pull more of their weight. Back in the day, children you give birth, so I hear, and then, the kid would be out on the field working, paying their dues. But now it's like, somehow there's some sort of an imbalance in terms of, getting your money's worth, whether it's with babies or just out there in general, getting your money's worth. What are you even talking about? I don't even know, dudes. Ladies, gents, we're just going to keep it loose. We're going to have some fun. I, for one, am ready for new stuff in terms of like, let's do it. It's 2023. These are supposed to be the roaring 20s, much like the roaring 20s of the past, which were a sweet ride, at least looking at some of the movies and everything. Ooh, a little bit of Art Deco, a little bit of champagne, a little bit of bubbly. Oh, we're dancing, we're having fun. And then boom, 10 years fast forward, crashing of the markets. The world's going into wars and stuff. Feels a little bit similar yet different. But I'm ready for new things, man, because you hear things. There's so much going on with tech, jobs potentially being replaced by tech. There's competition from left, right, and center. You got tech to be worried about. You got potential aliens visiting and shit, which is weird. All sorts of, people, there's, I'll read an article. There's a student down here in one of our universities, U of T, somehow magically through the magic of science, they've conducted this, radio signal frequency picker upper thingy. And, we're hearing signals from into the, we put up signals, we hear signals. We're getting signs. Is it clear cut what it is? No, who knows? Are there aliens out there? Most likely, probably yes. Looking at everything, I would say yes. We are definitely being we're already being run by aliens, or we are being run by some sort of like artificial intelligence already. We're already probably in it, because a lot of things, it just seems like a repetition. It just seems like let's switch it up. Let's switch up the, software. When was the last time we had a software update, Because it's like we do the same, like sometimes it's like, it's fine if it's a good thing, you keep doing it, but if it's like a thing that doesn't make sense, or if it's a thing that's been done, we've been done it. It's been done, we know what it is. Why do we keep doing it the same way? Like one thing that doesn't make sense to me at all, like most likely it probably wouldn't make sense to anybody out there either. Talking about modern warfare. What are we even talking about here? Modern warfare. What is it all about? Like, what are we even doing? Like, all these, you'll hear, oh, X number of tanks are going to, we got to send tanks to Ukraine. We got to send, and then it just doesn't make sense. Modern warfare doesn't make, like, what do we do? What are we still doing? Like, the charade of it doesn't make sense. I mean, I get that we're human. We're like creatures we're beasts. We're animals at the end of the day. Beginning of the day, midday, we're animals. Still monkeys, right? Monkeys just like, oh, let me flick a little bit of my feces in your face. Oh, let me smear that feces on your face right there, because that's what we do sometimes. And then we're like, and then 2 seconds later, we're like, why is this guy acting? I just smeared feces in your face. I don't know why this guy's acting out. Feces in your face, dude. But that's what I don't get modern warfare, because it's like we have all the tech. We have the techs. We have the techs. You got the techs. I got the techs. We got the techs. What are we even doing? What are we even doing? It's just like the charade of it. I mean, it's just like, what do we do? Why do we send tanks and airplanes and like missile launchers and human launchers and launchers? You know what are we doing? Like, what's the point? At the end of what's the end game? You'll read an article. It's like 342 days and knee deep into, and what is it like? Tell us what you think. We've been 342 days knee deep in, and little by little you'll hear like other countries like, we'll give in, the UK's got to help in now, and then the Germans be like, oh, the Germans got to, and then somebody else will be like, well, we got to help, and then like, what are we helping with though? What are we doing? Because at the end of the day, it's like, if we wanted to. And on today's Wild Wednesday, motherfuckers. Today's Wild motherfucking Wednesday, alright? Let me get a sip of this, and we're gonna have some fun. God. At the end of the day, what are we even doing? Like, why do we send tanks and airplanes like it's fucking 1921, dude? You literally, at the end of the day, you probably want one, maybe two, maybe three, a handful of guys. I'm not gonna name names. You know who they are. Let's not pretend like we don't know who they are. All right? You need a couple of guys taken out. The rest of it is just charades. It's like, what do we do? Send out the frogman. Send out some. Are we pretending, globally speaking, like if the US and if the CIA, if our special forces, and I say ours just because Canada and the US were like this, but what are we even doing here? It's like the pretend of it sometimes, just like, what are we doing here? What do we do? Let's just like, if the CIA wanted somebody out in the game, let's not pretend the CIA is not gonna get their way. You know what I mean? Globally speaking, you know what and here's the thing, it's okay, it's fine, I get it, it makes sense. That makes sense to me. Certain things do make sense. The charade aspect of things, like what do we, like, the world needs to, right now, we are like, okay, it's the US's time. It's motherfucking the US's time. The US is the modern new empire. And I hate how we gotta like pretend like you're not. Like you are, and you deserve it. It's your turn, baby boy. Congratulations. But flex and like fucking like, you know what I mean? Like what's the point of like dragging it on? Oh, 300 something days, and then it'll like spiral into like 5 years, and then we gotta like drag it out into like 5 years and see if other countries want to get involved. And there's a little, fake playing of chess or tic-tac-toe or whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, we know who's slinging big dick. We know if the US military industrial complex, all these billions, if you wanted to, you could just unzip your beautiful pants, whip out your thick old, big old, I'm talking 12-inch cack, put it on the table, and just call the shots. And that's it, baby. There's no if, and, or buts, or maybes about, what are we even talking about? You're telling me, like, you know what I mean? So we don't have to spend money on meetings and getting people, like, to go places and have forums and have meetings. How do we fix this? Like, let's call it what it is. You want the US to be up top. I want the US to be up top. That's because if we're talking tops and bottoms, US is on top, and you want it that way. You don't want a China on top. You don't want, nothing wrong with China, but you can't have like, people who are, that we just need we need a little bit of, because it's not perfect. The US isn't perfect. We're not like, the West isn't perfect. But I'm just saying, if you were gonna have, and you should, and we do. What are we even talking about? That's the thing. The charade aspect of it sometimes gets to me, because I'm like, why are we spending so much money, time, and effort if it's just legit gonna take a phone call that somebody's gonna need to make that's not in the public realm? A phone call behind the scenes. You know what I'm talking about? None of these fucking, like, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the president. I'm not talking about the guy that can barely speak. I'm not talking about the guy that's like falling off stage shaking the ghost's hand. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys and girls that we don't even know about, that we don't even see. I'm talking about maybe somebody in the deep state needs to make a phone call somewhere, and somebody needs to be like, you know what? Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up so we can move forward with certain things. You know what I mean? I just like, I don't need like another like, or whatever. It could be a war in Ukraine. It could be like, oh, get women's rights back, and give the women's rights in Iran, give them the man. It's this like old prune of a whatever. It's an ayatollah. How hard is it to, you know what I mean? Just be like, it's a wrap. It's been a wrap. Wrap it up. You know what I mean? But like everything's gotta. But that's the thing. For some reason, I think it's just like it's too much, perhaps, for people to be like, oh shit, we gotta get rid of the head of state down in this, because it's not working. You know what I mean? A few head of states have got to, but that's what it is. We do it anyway. We just like drag it on, and we're playing all these like cloak and dagger, and like something happens, you don't even hear about something, a mysterious coup like goes down in some random country. It's just like too much. Just call it what it is. There's a big boss. There's a big boss right there with a big old thick veiny dick. It's called the US. It's called America, and it's putting its dick on the old table. Look at it. It's magnificent. Not even a fan of dicks, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Flex, and flex properly. Flex hard. Today's Wednesday, wild motherfucking Wednesday, and we're gonna have some fun. Because the charades of it doesn't sometimes make sense, and it just gets to me. Because at the end of the day, and then you got like regular people like doing regular, regular work, as if it like, you know what I mean? Like, let's move on to the next thing. I'm ready to fucking alien, dude. Let's go. Because there's a few people that are probably having like, issues if they really like introduce aliens in our lives. It's gonna be people. Oh, can you fucking alien? Can you not fucking alien? I am fucking an alien, straight up. Straight fucking an alien, or getting fucked by an alien, one way or another, fam. It's 2023. Okay? That's what it is. Plant the seed, that's what it is. Like, fucking mount on top of me right there, and fucking like whatever. You like, give me the 7 tits. Give me the 7 tits and like the one giant body length vagina, and just like, encapsulate me in your body, and then just like get off me with like, I'm covered in slime now. I'm pregnant. It's weird. I know. It's alien shit. This isn't even about like, again, I don't even know what we're talking about. Today is Wild Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Glad you made it, baby boys, baby girls. The charade of it all doesn't make sense to me sometimes. That's the only thing. Other than that, life's a peach. I'm just saying, why do we pretend like little like insignificant things matter? Like, if we wanted an old man in any place that's running places, you know what I mean? It's fucking like, just scooch over. It's time for a new start. We're starting over in certain places so we can all work together. What are we even talking about? It's a matter of sharing resources, really. And yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know what the answer is. I don't have any solutions. I don't have, I only got questions, and I'm like, what's up with the charades? When do and sometimes you'll hear things, you'll hear other stories, man. It's weird. So something like language is like the charade of the language. It's like we play around with words. Sometimes we'll have to go on like, what's a vaccine, for example. You'll have to like change the definition so that it fits. And then sometimes you'll have to be like, oh, let's have an interview with this fella, Bill Gates, and ask him what his relation was to Jeffrey Epstein. And what does he regret about having met Jeffrey Epstein? Out of all the things that he could have regret, I regret having dinner. Dinner. I regret having dinner. Is that all that you regret having? Dinner. unless dinner is like something else, you know, because like regular dinner, I don't, because that's what it is. We sometimes have to change the meaning of words so that like they can mean what we want it to mean, you know, because like dinner up until like literally 24, 36, 48 hours ago to me was like supper. You go, last meal of the day, dinner. Meats, potatoes, or salad at dinner. What is it? 5 to 8, 5 to 11, 5 to midnight. Let's say you're European, you're Middle Eastern, you have dinner at midnight. You're weird like that. Whatever. No one's judging. Dinner. We know what it is. Last meal of the day. That's dinner. What do you regret having done with Mr. Epstein? Dinner. You know, that's what it is. The procurer of underage sex workers globally for the, you know, for our Illuminati, for the society's Illuminati, for the, you know, the lizards, the ones that are obsessed with wanting to stay alive forever, you know, like that guy. You know, what are your regrets about having relations with this dude, with this, you know, with this beautiful monster? Really? Dinner, because that's what it is, man. Oh man, my wife warned me about them dinners. It's like, you know, Bill, I don't like it when you have dinner with Jeff. Unless dinner is like code for like underage puss, dude, because that's what it is. What do you regret? Dinner. Straight up, dude. Dinner. I'm so regretful about having dinner. Or it could be underage, you know, the boys peeing and ass too. That could be because is that all you've had regrets about? Dinner. With a guy that potentially offed himself, on and offed himself. You know, cameras off. What is going on? The charade of it all sometimes, just like, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But that's, you know, that's dinner, man. That's dinner. Here's the thing, that is a bummer. I gotta be like, because I'm all inclusive of everybody, and I, for one, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Who's throwing these like Epstein parties now? Without Epstein, who's throwing the Epstein party? I volunteer to throw the Epstein party. I'll be the new Epstein without the underage procuring of the underage sex activities. You can do whatever else you want. You can bring your owl effigies. You can do weird dances around things that are burning. We can hold officially everything. Like everything will be the same except no kid fucking. Because like still there's like all these people who are probably like really, really disappointed they can't be like kid fucking anymore, which sucks for you guys and gals out there, you sick fucks. But at the end of the day, it's like when I see there's a demand and there's a supply and demand issue, certain things we can't supply and demand it, but like we can do everything else. It's basically camp. It's basically elite camp. You want to get in there, you want to pretend like, oh, drink a little bit of this period blood, you'll live to be, you know, the same old, but like, you know, those kidney spots on your face aren't so noticeable if you're like, you know, way off into the distance. Get close enough, I still see those kidney fucking marks on your face, you gremlin. But that's the thing, man. So I'll go ahead and do, because there's a void right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad day. It is a sad, sad day. Because at the end of the day, the service has gone down, you know what I mean? No longer can you just get on a private jet with your favorite, you know, members of society, bumping elbows, greasing each other up, just lathering each other up, getting excited. Oh, we're gonna go to like Epstein Island, formerly Epstein Island. You know, we're gonna fuck little ones. Well, you can't do that anymore. There's been a wrap, unless it's still going on, which I'm pretty sure like low-key it must be going on. But like, but that's what it is. It's the charade of it all sometimes. That's just, what are we even talking about? I don't even know, dude. It is Wednesday, and I'm just saying I'm here to provide a service. So we can do literally everything else on the island. So I'm just putting it up, baby. There, I just communicated to all my lizards out there. Fucking right, get in the DMs, slide through. I'm hosting the next year's event, this year's 2023's Elite Disgusting Shenanigans, we'll call it, you know? But no judgy here, and we'll do everything except the kid fucking, which is like, I know that's like the main attraction, but legit, we can still have fun. Legit, we can still have fun. We can dance around naked. You know, we can fuck people of age. We can fuck people up. We can run trains. Fucking like, you know what I'm talking about? We could go ass to mouth, baby. Fucking dick to nip. Dick to ear, dude. Vag to fucking mouth. I'm talking vag mouth action, fucking running circles, baby, for 7 days and 7 nights. Exclusive in the middle of the woods, on an island, on a boat, on an island. underground, overground, on top of a mountain that is not even visible to the naked eye. Regular people won't even, like peasantry won't even be able to see it. We'll take you to this like fucking mountain place, and it's like, it's a whole, like, it's, oh, is it even CGI? Is it even real? You don't even know, dog. You'll just get there and like, it's just oily, wet, dungeons, masks, a lot of weird fashion shit. Oh, we'll have the weirdest fashion shit. We'll have all the top fashion people fashioning, because we like to, it's like, because at the same rate, we're like, man, we're knee deep in art and fashion and pushing it into 2023 and so on and so forth. So you know what I mean? I'm talking about like people that are wearing clothes but are not wearing clothes fashion. I'm talking, we're gonna take the models. This is what I'll provide for you in the new Epstein Island. We'll call it, I can't call it Epstein Island. Fuck Epstein, dude. That's what it is. I'm procuring these events now, bitch. With again, the mic, like, very clear, with the exception of no kid fucking, all right? No matter how much you want to, and I know you all want to out there, you sick fucks, and you're disappointed, your boy's gone down, and you're like, oh, I missed having dinner. I'm regretting having dinner. I missed having dinner. Fuck, man. But that's the thing, I'll get in there, and I'll provide a service. At the end of the day, let's move forward with certain things, you know what I mean? Money's obsolete. I don't know what we need to figure it out. Certain things that are retarded, we need to figure it out. I don't have the answers, but let's figure it out. Let's discuss the main issues on top, because like, there's debt, growing debt. In order for the world not to collapse, we need to look at this debt and be like, where's the debt ceiling? And man, we've surpassed the debt ceiling, but now we're gonna have to extend the debt ceiling so that we don't like, the world doesn't like fall on its ass. Why? Because fucking America's big dog with a big veiny dick, and we've surpassed our global debt limit or something. So now we gotta, and if you don't get it, it's a matter of national security. It's a matter of international security that you gotta increase the debt limit, motherfucker. You don't get that? This isn't a regular household. This isn't a regular business. It's national motherfucking debt, baby. Raise the ceiling, bitch. Raise it. Higher. How much more debt? Higher. Fast. Higher. You know what I'm talking about? So let's just, enough of like, it doesn't make sense. A lot of things just don't make sense. I'm just trying to figure it out with you guys. Have some fun. I say universal basic income. Fuck it, bring it back. Universal basic income. Something's gotta give, because like, I'm not hearing anything. I don't see any solution. I don't see it, because I get in, I talk with people of all ages, of all backgrounds. Oh, housing is a big issue. Rent is a big issue, you know? And if you don't come from like generational wealth so that mommy and daddy can be like, here's a little bit of a boost, here are a couple of $100,000 for your new down. But if you are on your own, and like, we need new programs. We need to think outside the box. And here's the thing, fam, money is not an option. Do not be limited by this thing that we call the dollar, that we call them, like, money's whatevs. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Like, it does, but it doesn't. And they're like, oh, but we gotta get people like, oh, what if they try? What if they stop trying? Gives a fuck. Who gives a fuck? Like, you actually, individually, other than yourself and your family and your loved ones and your close circle, do you really give a fuck if such and such is trying or not trying in society? Is that what people are? But I don't want to give money because I don't want to see them not try. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know what? Fuck it. If somebody doesn't want to try, let them not try. Let them not try. But, you know, we got to have something. I say universal basic income has got to be a thing. I don't care if it makes a particular sect of society lazy. If it does, so be it. Fuck off. It's 2023. Money it just doesn't make sense with the inflation, with the cost of it just doesn't make sense. And that's fine, because, you know, one-on-one, I can go out there, you can go out there, you tiger, you're the type that gets up at 3 a.m., you masturbate, then you fuck your wife, or your wife fucks you, and then you go have a little breakfast, you work out, it's fucking 4:30, or you're still working out 5:30, you've already fucking like closed a business deal, it's 6 a.m., you're already on a yacht that's on a helicopter making business phone calls internationally. Now you're gliding, you're air gliding, motherfucker. Now you're gonna be skiing in the Alps. Why? Because there's business in the Swiss Alps. That needs to be taken care of. It's noon. Let's break for lunch. I gotta come back and go to another meeting. You're that son of a bitch right there. You fucking Energizer Bunny, you bastard. There are a few people like that. There are a few people like that, you know? Majority of society, majority of people are not like that. Believe it or not. And you're like, but we got to. And then everybody gets on these fucking like, well, we got to deep inside reach for the gladiator warrior that conquers and it's like we're not gladiators. We're not fucking warriors. We're soft, mushy people of the 2023s. How long we gonna pretend like we do a workout or we wake up on time, man, I'm a fucking warrior. Ooh, I'm a fucking warrior now. You know what I mean? It's just retarded. Certain things that, and I'm not saying don't try. I'm not saying don't be on top of your shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying certain things just don't make sense. Or is it just me? Perhaps it's just me, but if it is just me, so be it. Let's just have some fun. It's motherfucking Wednesday. Let's get a sip of this. Man, anybody else regret having dinner? Because dinner is weird. You never know when you're just eating a little bit of chicken breast, a little bit of broccoli. Next thing you know, underage puss. Oh my god, dinner's so awkward now. I'm regretting dinner. You know what I mean? But that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. And then you have these same motherfuckers that own like a ton of land. I own all the farmland. I'm Bill Gates. I have regrets having dinner. And I want everybody to be jabbed. Jabbed. Eat a bug, get jabbed. Get jabbed. Get jabbed. Get jabbed. You gotta get jabbed before you gotta get a jab. Good job, everybody. Jab. I don't even know what I'm saying, dude, but the point is, ladies and gents, that a lot of things just don't make sense. It's the ongoing repetition of the things that seem like 100 years old, and we're like, man, well, if we can only send enough efforts and the troops and if we could just get the troops and it's like, motherfucker, either help properly, you know what I mean, or stop like pussyfooting around ideas. What are we doing sending tanks and airplanes? You know what I'm talking about? Let's bring the Boston Dynamic robot. You've seen the videos. This motherfucker delivering packages, doing somersaults and 360, dunking on itself. What are we even doing? Send one of them guys. What are regular people? But that's the thing. If anybody ever talks about, hey man, is there a particular character or a few cats out there that are making the world a little bit messy out there? Maybe we should consider removing them from the game. And then you can say those things, because those things, it's like, but if you can move 1,000 people, 100,000 people, if you can like get rid of 200,000 people from on different sides, that's all right. I don't even know what I'm saying, dude. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's motherfucking Wednesday. Motherfucking Wednesday. We're doing it. I just don't like the charade sometimes. It just gets to me sometimes. Because I'm like, what are you even doing here? What are you even talking about here? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people just want to have a good time. People want to be able to provide for themselves, have some fun. You know? Unless we're all cool with the same system. Unless we like this ongoing process that benefits, less than 1% of population, and the rest of the population has to go out there and fucking crabs in a bucket. But sometimes you need those circumstances. I get it, because you're like, man, without those harsh circumstances, you wouldn't get the guy or the gal that's shiny, because he's been rubbing up against other metal, because he's made of metal. He's cold, like metal, silver metal, dark metal. And you wouldn't get that sharpness if it wasn't for that sharpness grinding against other sharpness. But at the end of the day, you look at the sharpness, and it's a broken shell of a man inside, or a woman too. Doesn't even matter, you know what I mean? But that's the thing. If you can just tell an image and come and inspire other people and tell them how you overcame and you surpassed all the circumstances, so that people can look and be like, oh my god, if he can do it, I can do it too. If Johnny can do it, I can do it too. I can fly, Mom, I can fly. But that's Johnny, man. Johnny's been flying. Johnny's been flying since he was 5. Johnny's unique. Johnny's a flyer. Johnny's got that extra skin. Johnny's got that extra skin, fam. Johnny's got that loose skin. I'm talking squirrel suit, but on body, on the go. You don't have that. You don't have that loose skin. Not everybody's gifted like Johnny. He's like, how does he defy gravity? Loose skin, loose skin. And that's the thing. You can start. I've been trying to, stretch my skin. I've been trying to pull my nutsack and get it to expand like a bat suit, like a fucking flying squirrel suit, like a flying monkey. But it's just like, still fighting gravity at this. So I'm just like, it's 2023. Let's have fun with it. Let's stop the charades, is all I'm saying, because there's a new big veiny dick up in this ether. Let's just put it on the table. Let's just let everybody take a look. That's just what it is, You know what I mean? How long are we gonna pretend like the Taliban's an issue? If we want it to be not an issue, it's not an issue. You know what I mean? A bunch of guys and like, you know what I mean? Let's just take care of it. But that's the thing, that process is old school business, and it's like, there's still old school mentality of like, let's keep the wars going. Let's make it bloody, let's make it messy, let's make it like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Let's get rid of the Taliban. Putting ideas, opiates. We start selling opiates, like legit to each other. No way. Perhaps that one's not such a bueno idea, but you know what I mean? The whole Taliban, they're like, it's just an example, but they're like sufficiently just run on opium money. And it's like, oh, we're having difficulty with these guys in sandals and a turban. This guy in the turban and the sandals, my goodness. The Russians went in there, difficult time, and man, West is gonna have a difficult time too. Yes, the terrain is mad, it's mountainous, it's a region where you gotta be familiar with the nooks and crannies, where is the cave, where is he hiding, where are they? It's just like, but like if we wanted to, lighter the bitch, send a couple of frogmen and women, or not, drone that shit, and let's just wrap it up. And then all I'm saying is like, if we get, the point of this is, if we get rid of a few people that we probably put in place, all of it, how long are we gonna pretend the CIA doesn't run shit, most of shit? And I'm not saying they're so organized and like really like this, I'm not like, but you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're running everything, but like, here's what I'm saying. It's either aliens that are running shit, it's either the computers, the supercomputer AI, chat GPT's already taken over, all right? And we're just like running this like fucking like old fucking software from like 1998, bro, and it's just like, oh, we need to reboot and do the same thing over. So it's either that, so we got aliens, we got some sort of simulation run by an AI that we're just like, what's going on? Or yeah, I don't know. Are there any other alternatives? I say fuck it, bring it all forward, let's just put it on the table. You know what I mean? Because it's Wednesday, let's just have some fun with it. What's the point of the charade? Universal basic income, I say for everybody. Renting completely retarded. Renting should just be gone. Globally, we should just get rid of renting. Renting doesn't make sense. Why should a portion of people rent where everybody has the potential to own? I say everybody should be owners. That's what it is. 2023 moving forward, we should have some sort of like new ideas. Renting doesn't make sense. From now on, let's together work some, get rid of it overnight if we can. Let's sign a couple of, because it doesn't make sense. I've just been, as a person who's been renting for some time, I'm like, at the end of the day, who am I paying this money to? And it's like, well, you gotta pay you gotta pay to live, and to live to pay, and you gotta pay to live. And then like, where does it go though? You pay the property owner who's been owning this property out of sheer luck and timing and showing up at a particular time in history, buying up a piece of land, monopolizing on it, getting in there, building units, renting it. And every year the rent goes higher, and it's just like, is it just one person? Is it a company? And then where does the company, like the money goes to the company, and then the money sits in a bank, and then the bank sits on the money, and what are we doing? Does it make sense? Does any of this, does it make sense that there's a portion of the population, less than 1% of the population, that has all the wealth, and then the regular people out there are like, man, I wonder if I'm gonna make it through this month, or next month, or the month after that. Jeez Louise, but that's what it is. That's what it is. And yeah, I just say we get rid of certain things that don't make sense. Renting, get rid of it, doesn't make sense. Weird actors that we're not gooch with, get rid of it, it doesn't make sense. Put them on an island. We don't even need to, that's what it is. We don't need to go barbaric. But let's put the options on the table and be like, listen, old man, If we wanted you out, you'd be out. And you are out. It's just we gotta like drag it on, because I guess sometimes it's hard for people to accept the truth. It's hard for people to be like, oh man, maybe somebody else is running the show. You know what I mean? It's because we gotta, especially when you're talking about people and nation states and identities, we gotta have autonomy and it's gotta be a nation state with its nation state identity, and it's gotta be run by a nation statesman with our interests at heart. And we know how lovely nation statesmen have interests at heart through and through. Throughout history, we've seen it time and again. Oh my God, the men and women who get in there, who just have nothing but the greatest of intentions, coming in there and then filling in their pockets, just filling in the pockets. Oh, let me fill my pockets. Let me get my in-group. Let me rub a couple of shoulders and elbows and jerk a couple of friends off, and together we can have a nice circle jerk and conduct business, and then go get Korean barbecue after. Perhaps a little schwitz wouldn't hurt either. You know what I'm talking about? Good business. It's 3 a.m. It's time for my morning workout. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. This charade needs to sometimes, like, we need to just like, what are we doing here? Because like we had the time where we looked behind the curtain, right? We're like, oh, this is, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Most of it doesn't make sense. And then little by little, we're like, let's just put the curtain back up, because like at least we know what the curtain, there's a man behind the curtain, and we like the curtain. At least we know what the curtain and the man are doing. Okay, doesn't benefit everybody, but at least we know what it is. It's used. You're used to it. Well, I'm used to it. We're used to it. I'm not saying it's like, but that's what it is. Because if you don't, like, what are we doing? Because you know this is all gonna like propel down the line. We say a little by little, we trickle a little bit down in the news so that it's like easier on people. By 2025, it's gonna be China versus America. We're gonna go to war. It's like, doesn't have to be like World War II. It doesn't have to be like that's. It just feels like there's like, and I'm not saying like this isn't to say like life is gooch. Like, especially like, you know, I'm fine. You're fine out there. We're like, you know what it is? It's fine. But at the end of the day, like, when do we stop this perpetual cycle of like boom and bust? You know, 5-10 years of, you know, little bit of good times, and then some sort of a economical bust, some sort of a. That's what it is. And I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't want this to be like, by no stretch of the imagination am I pushing for some sort of like great reset or whatever. Not saying any of that, but I'm saying there needs to be something that actually equalizes the leveling of the playing field, if you will, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because at this rate, if we keep going like this, it's a rigged game for a majority of people, and it's a financially rigged game. And I don't know any other alternatives unless we start thinking outside the box and actually reframing how we run this bad boy called the world. Does this make sense? If it doesn't, it barely makes sense to me either. So, all I'm saying is, there's a new big cock on the block. Alright? Get used to it. Let's stop pretending like, you know what I mean? Like, you look at like, you know, let the US run shit for a couple of centuries. But like, let's do it in new style. You know what I'm talking? Because like old empires were like, yeah, we're the centralized power right here, and we're gonna run shit. And further away you get from the core, the less you're gonna benefit from the system and the centralization, all that. Let there be a centralized system where America's top dog, and you just overlook everything like a nice business. Because at the end of the day, countries are businesses. But what's the difference? Why do we gotta pretend like we gotta put some incompetent asshole in there and like let him run it and be like, well, yes, they gotta have autonomy, and then like from all sorts of weird ways and angles try to manipulate this, like, we're manipulating it, but we're not manipulating it. We're manipulating it, but we're not manipulating it. It's like, you got your hands in the pot. Just say you got your hands in the pot, Daddy. We're the big fucking octopus. The octopi. Look at these tentacles in the pot. Look at this. Fucking chef it up is all I'm saying, but do it with like nice control. You just say you are. Just say you are. You know what I mean? Just be like, yes, it's top dog shit. You know, if you can't fucking run with it, you're a thing of the past, homie. That's what it is. It's just like recognizing the new program, and it's glad you made it. It's been another So-So production. Boys and girls, where can you find these fine videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. we get in there. We get in there despite whatever happens. Up, down, together, we're doing it. And that's what it is. If you like to see this show grow, like a big old tumor, like a penis that's been placed inside a penis pump. If you like to just pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Oh my God, this penis is gonna explode, right? Well, we like to just push the limits. We like to put the penis in the pump and keep on pumping. If you like to pump the penis in the penis pump, you can do that through patreon.com/RobSadri. You're a lady. You're like, I don't have a peen. This is not relatable for me. What about a vag and a nice vag pump? Pumping up the old vag. There you go. Totes relatable. Oh, pump it up. It's weird, but some people do it. I've seen it. Not on purpose, but it has come across my eye. It's like, what are you doing with your vag? I'm pumping it up. Sucking it. Have you guys seen this, ladies, gents? Let us shift gears. Let us, for a moment, let's just, for a second, if we can have something that we can all feel good about. What's up with vaginas and penises and penis pumps and vagina pumps? What is it? I do want to personally poke it. I'd like to poke one. Not a penis, but a vag that's been, you know what I'm talking about. Those, like, it's like one of those, like, it's like a suction cup, and they put it on the vulva. They put it on the vulva and the labia, and then they pump it. They pump it. Oh, they're pumping, and it gets red, and it's basically like a baboon's ass. And then they take it off. They take off the suction cup, and it's just like this, like, tender, blubbery, weird-looking vagina. It's not even a vagina anymore. It's just like big, giant, red thing that's staring at you right in the face. Kind of looks like the Stranger Things monster. Oh, it's a monster. It's a scary old monster. Like a Stranger Things monster looking at you right in the eye. Come at me, son. Come at me now. But that's just modern times, and people are using their imagination, getting creative. They're like, how do I make a buck? How do I make a buck? OnlyFans. I've said it before, OnlyFans. You know, that's what's going to be the only thing that's going to be remaining very soon in the next couple of years is going to be basically an OnlyFans. But long gone are the days where people made an actual buck. Ladies, good luck. There's gonna be, because up until now it was like if you're at least a lady, you could go get, put your cooch on the lines, make a little bit of money. Saturated, no more. It's gone, dude. And then next thing you know, there's gonna be artificial intelligence producing everything that you can think of. So at the end of the day, we're faced with an option of either waiting to see it all drag out, and then eventually we all have to become some sort of a sex worker, Or we can just see, like, you know what, fam, universal basic income for everybody. Rent, cost of living should just be taken care of. And then the rest, if you want to go get it, go get it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Let's pretend. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. Sorry, let's not pretend like there's any other alternative option. Or we're going to drag it out in like 10 years, get into more wars, and be like, how did this happen? 2030, breaking news, more war. Back to you, John, from the war. Look at these bomb pictures. Look at these explosions. Oh man, it's weird. It's so weird. Because that's what it is. We get desensitized to shit too. You'll see, like, I'll see an image of, like, oh, missiles hitting Russian soldiers. Look at these missiles. And it's like a 30-second clip of missiles hitting Russian soldiers. And at the end of the video, like and subscribe. What? What are we liking and subscribing? They'll tell you the news. There's the war effort is moving strong. 400 days into the war effort. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It's like, what are we liking? What are we subscribing? Who's it benefiting? Is it not time that we all start benefiting? Is it not time that the 99% finally fucking, like, flipped the old pyramid upside down, inside out, and looked right into the asshole of the monster that we've created together? And be like, hey man, what is in there? It's wet, squishy. A little bit fun, a little bit intriguing, but at the end of the day, we're still poking an asshole, and it's a live one, isn't it? It's a live one. That's a doozy. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, I love you. There's a ton of hope out there. There's a ton of hope out there. There's a ton of hope. There's a lot of optimism, but we do need to change a few things around. And together, I believe we can, if we just, like, if we just stop playing the charades, unless we like more charades, in which case I will be hosting this year's new Illuminati owl burning effigy ceremony, gang bang, but again, everything will be the same, just like it was on Jeff's Island before. You can come, Bill. All the Bills can come. Bill Gates can come. Bill Clinton, buddy, come on down. I know it's been so weird not being able to get with your friends and run elbows and get underage females and maybe males too, and maybe even animals, underage animals. Maybe you're fucking underage animals, you sick fuck. Don't worry, it's fine. It's a thing of the past. Sometimes I regret having dinner too. Like last week, I got food poisoning, completely regretted myself. Maybe you're facing a similar situation. Perhaps yours is a little bit way more different. Nonetheless, I am procuring a service and it'll be grand. And again, we'll do everything. You'll have a ton of fun. No kid fucking. But like everything else will be like old times. Am I right, everybody? Let's play a little bit jazz and just jazz out, Bill. I'll see you guys back here again on Fridays. Love y'all. I just spat. I hope you guys saw me spit. Love y'all. Peace out.